Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching Wednesday. This is episode 6 of the first season. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it so far, and if you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in the link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in, and enjoy. So last episode was interesting. It was kind of like Parents' Day, you know, they all come to the school, they was all visiting, and you know, they was getting kind of like the lowdown on how Wednesday's been behaving. Now obviously the principal, she sat down, she was saying that she's not happy with everything that's kind of going on, and she believes the best way for them to move forward is to go to therapy themselves, to join Wednesday. Now obviously Wednesday was saying that that's not really the case. You know what I mean? I've not been disobeying the rules. It's that you've been trying to cover up everything. You know what I mean? Eugene, he's been attacked. So was Rowan in the first episode. Why do you pretend that everything's okay when we know that a monster's out there? She didn't like that. They ended up going to this therapy session where Wednesday ended up turning around to her parents and saying, why have you been lying to me for all of these years? You know, what is the story about this cover-up, this murder that happened? This was the one that the sheriff's been trying to say that he's trying to take Gomez down all of these years, but he's never had that crucial bit of information to actually succeed. And then luckily, somehow in the episode, do you remember the doctor when Wednesday was hiding in the morgue, who come in and showed obviously the sheriff the foot, and he was detailing how excited he was to retire and go on a cruise with his wife? He ended up blowing his brains out and leaving a suicide note there, which details everything, and a signed confession from her dad, you know, pretty much implementing him at the scene and obviously doing the crime. Easy peasy for the sheriff. He's got that information that he's been searching for years. He's gone in, he's arrested Gomez. Now Wednesday, she's gone to ask him, you know, what actually happened, and he relayed the story. He was saying how, you know, him and Morticia, they was dating at the school. We had Garrett, who was really jealous. He was obsessive about obviously wanting to date her himself. He ended up attacking Gomez, and in self-defense, which it looked like in the big scene that we seen, Gomez ended up killing him. Now, even Wednesday was like, look, you know, the remorse that the way he's speaking, you know, the story that he's saying, it's plausible. But no, my dad, you never know if it's true. You know, by the way he's combing his moustache, the way he's winking when he's saying them things. Do you know what I mean? You never know if that's the full story. So later on in the episode, she did confront her mum. She was asking, what's going on, mate? Dad didn't do it, did he? And she was like, no, look, mate, I actually done it. She told the story of pretty much how they went up. She seen Gomez. He was getting beaten up by Garrett. She ended up picking up a sword, and Garrett's charged at her, and he ended up running into it and stabbing himself. Then obviously he ended up falling off and dying, and that is the actual true story what happened. But we also found that you know, he was kind of like high on some sort of substance, because we got another flashback of his dad trying to get him to pour this serum inside of the punch bowl at the school to try and take down all of these supernaturals. And when he actually got into a fight with Gomez, it smashed and it hit him and it infected him before he could obviously do that, and that was one of the reasons, the cause of his death. They've gone and they've argued this with the mayor of Jericho right now, who actually covered up the murder at the time, because obviously he you know, he wanted to be going from sheriff to mayor, and by doing this obviously it helped him advance his position. But now he doesn't actually want this information to be released, so he had to give Wednesday and obviously Morticia what they wanted, and that was a full pardon for Gomez. But the interesting thing is, the killer's still out there. The person that actually killed the doctor, the person that's actually trying to implement these informations, and the monster that's actually going around and killing people is still on the loose. And I have no idea actually it is, you know. I did have my 2 suspects, and now they've been wiped, so I'm interested to see obviously who gets revealed in the final 3 episodes. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you do enjoy it, please smash the like, it really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into episode 6 of season 1 of Wednesday.
I don't hold seances very often. I can barely tolerate the living. Why would I want to commune with the dead?
I didn't mean to interrupt your... Do we even want to know?
I've been attempting to summon her, but she seems to be ignoring my entreaties.
Maybe Goody answered you after all.
Okay, who do you reckon that is? Let's drop that.
Seems like our wannabe deep throat is already here.
Xavier's inside.
I just stay out here.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Oh, she was in on it.
The pink balloon was my little touch. Why don't you make a wish?
Wait, it's Latin. Fire will rain.
Yo, the transitions are so sick, mate. They're really, really good.
There is no controlling a raging river. We must learn to navigate it without drowning. Time is not on our side. To stop Crackstone, these places must seek. The path of a raven is a solitary one. You end up alone, unable to trust others, only seeing the darkness within them.
Mate, every single title of this show has got WOE in it. Well, what I've noticed recently anyway. The earlier episodes might not have. But like I said, I'll always keep going back to what Xavier said to her about his dad. He's saying he has visions and he's an expert, and he's saying that they should not always be trusted. And then you went to the last episode, and then you had a mum, Morticia. She was saying as well, mate, you better like be careful, because, you know, you're a raven, so like your connection is to like the darker side of the magic. And, you know, when GOODY was involved, it drove her crazy. And you need to watch it that she doesn't get inside your head and start manipulating you and getting you to do things that you wouldn't really necessarily do. Do you know what I mean? That's what's interesting.
What happened? It looked like you were having a seizure.
I wasn't that lucky.
Can I at least get some kudos for pulling one over on you?
Yeah, that was decent.
Subterfuge was impressive. May your 16th be as sour and misery-filled as your desire, your ever-doting mother and father.
Ew, that's so gross.
I would have preferred live squirrels.
Wow, we're still accepting presents.
What is it exactly?
It's a snood, silly. I made it in your signature colors. I have one too. We can wear them together to class.
I suggest we wait for a more special occasion, like a funeral.
He does his community service here, and we forget it ever happened. I don't need your gratitude. Just find the delinquents responsible. Perhaps start with Lucas's cohort.
Last night in the crypt, you had another vision, didn't you?
I didn't realize we were back on speaking terms.
Yeah, well, when you change your mind and you want my help, you know where to find me.
The bracelet. Where'd you get it?
Oh, it's off his mum.
Lucas, after he left, this woman in the next booth told me about this self-help app.
The more you listen to them, the more they sink their claws into you.
What do you care anyway?
I'm trying not to turn into my mother.
I'll be at the Weather Vane later if you want to stop by. Maybe we can exchange notes on self-improvement.
I haven't always been against birthdays. Besides, my parents always made sure my birthdays were memorable. Big surprise. Now, parties and presents and games, it all feels so trivial.
I haven't seen you since our session with your family.
What brings you here?
Eugene's mom's. Trauma like this leaves emotional scars on the whole family. They had to head home for a few days, so I promised I'd check in on him.
I want to assure you I remain as cold and heartless as the first day.
I doubt a cold, heartless person would be sitting by her friend's
I
bedside.
didn't
That's
ask
true.
for a free session.
Consider it my birthday gift.
This just arrived from London. Copy of an old death certificate you requested?
Who's that? Laurel Gates, the female. You know what I mean? See that there, right? I don't know who that Laurel Gates was, but when he was really reeling off his family, do you know, and how they died, the sheriff, I think he was saying it to Wednesday. I was saying, mate, they all sound like they've been killed. And they all, do you know what I mean? Like, the way he was saying that people had died, to me, it sounded like they was purposely pinpointed and slashed attacked. I don't know. But then I also did flip the question and say, imagine if the female teacher, who's the normie inside of the school, was actually a descendant of the Gates, do you know what I mean? And she's there to carry on that action that the family wanted him to do before, obviously, he got killed by her dad. That would be a good twist as well. And again, up until the last minute, pretty much of the last episode, I kind of always thought that the principal was in on it. But then when she admitted to Wednesday that she's a shapeshifter, and the reason why she shifted it was to try and, say, protect the school from the mass panic, do you know what I mean, of the monster being around there. And just the way she revealed it, I was kind of saying, like, it was good intentions but bad execution, do you know what I mean? And it kind of shifted my kind of opinion on her now, because I kind of feel like maybe she is doing what she believes is best for the school. Whether you agree with it or not, when I do look at it, I try to anyway, I do feel like she's trying to do her best on what she thinks is best for Nevermore, but it's not always the best action that she's taking.
I know you're usually a quad kind of girl, but I've been working on that all week.
Is there any one thing didn't tell?
Is that Enid's gift?
It's perfect if you're fleeing a war-torn country on foot.
So if I asked you out to a non-birthday, song-free dinner, would that be something you're interested in?
I have a tight deadline. Emphasis on dead.
Okay, did I do something? Ever since the Raven, you've kind of been ghosting me.
I reckon it's because she gave you a bit of an attachment and Eugene was attacked.
That's like my answer.
That threat burned onto the lawn at school. It's also etched on the wall inside Crackstone's crypt.
All right, well, I'll make sure I put out an APB on a dead pilgrim.
I need your help.
Your line work's a little shaky.
I saw that in a vision. Do you recognize it? When did you draw this?
A couple days ago.
Oh, that's pretty sick, that, isn't it?
Can tell how you get lost in the music.
She's well conflicted. She has no idea if she likes him or Tyler.
I didn't think you were actually gonna show.
Me neither.
I didn't think any outcast would ever speak to me again.
Wanted someone to talk to. I feel like we're in the same boat. No matter how hard I try it, there will always be people who look down on me.
Most people think I'll never amount to anything.
Why'd you trash the dance?
I don't know. Guess I was angry that my dad was humiliated on outreach day, if that makes any sense.
More than you know.
Why has he been dropped into it though? Like, why has he been given like a bit of storyline? Do you know what I mean? He's got to play further into it.
My father was accused of murdering.
Somebody's in there then. Let's see. Oh, he does seem a bit sketchy, to be fair though, as well.
Sheriff, pick up your damn phone. It's Noble. Listen, I might have figured out who's behind all of this. It's a long shot, so I'm gonna have to lay it out for you. We'll do it over pie at the Weather Vane.
You really think that she can hide in his car without that boot being heard closed? Oh. That looked like a man, but I'm not 100% sure. That was well unexpected.
Barely. What were you doing in the back of the mayor's SUV?
I saw him coming out of the Gates mansion. I heard the voicemail he left you. I was intrigued. Call me old-fashioned, but when someone is run over on their way to give the police key information, it usually means they were onto something. And
Yeah.
all signs point to the Gates family in that house.
Dead, every last one of them. And I don't believe in ghosts.
Maybe you should.
You know what a ridiculous thing to say is, right? You don't believe in ghosts in a town that you know that there's supernaturals around. Do you know what I mean? That is a ridiculous thing to say. The fact that he knows that there's werewolves and like witches and vampires and sirens, like, why does he not believe in a ghost? That would seem to be the most logical thing that you should be believing in a town that's like this, innit? But it is true. Do you know what I mean? Like, why was we saying last episode, it's too coincidental, the fact that, you know, her dad is visiting town and then somebody gets killed and there's a signed confession right there for the perfect bit of information that they needed to take him and put him away. Do you know what I mean? And now when this, do you know, when the mayor's coming to give the sheriff some information in relation to into the Gates, boom, mate, he gets run over. It's too obvious. Somebody is doing something, and it's obviously that it's not accidental. It's targeted, and I still don't know who it is. I don't know who it is.
I just heard what happened to Mayor Walker. I can't imagine witnessing something like that.
It was on my bucket list. You can tell the warden I'm still in my cell.
Mary Shelley wrote it on a dare when she was only 19.
I know. She's both my literary hero and nemesis. And I have 2 years and 364 days to beat her.
But she will expel you if you continue to defy her.
So you're only looking out for my best interests?
I think we're a lot alike.
We aren't. I don't need your help or your pity. I already have a mother and a therapist. That's enough torture, even for me. I've reconsidered your offer. Dinner on birthday dinner?
When are you free?
Pick me up outside the Nevermore Gates at 8 o'clock.
Take me to the house again.
Clear a Wednesday Adam. She's the kind of girl who's gonna get you hurt.
Is that supposed to be about Mom?
I can't deal with this right now.
He says that every time. What is the deal with their mum, actually?
Be home before curfew.
Did you ever even love her?
Yeah, he looks like he did, to be fair.
More than you could ever know.
I've been thinking about my less than enthusiastic response to your surprise soiree. I regret not showing my gratitude towards you more appropriately. You really mean it? Take the win, Enid. Have a little birthday redo. Just two best friends.
Oh, we should wear our snoods.
I believe I left mine at fencing.
Actually, you left yours at the Weather Vane. Luckily, Bianca brought it back.
Gee.
He's our Uber driver?
Uber driver. What's up with the weird matching hoodie scarf thingies?
Don't ask. Just drive.
You guys in here? I know you're still mad about the
Who's
paper, okay,
typing?
but I just want to talk to you for a second.
Oh, I see.
What does she think?
This isn't what I signed on for.
I want to celebrate my birthday by going to dinner or a surprise party.
Can I try?
Oh.
It's a werewolf thing.
This is the car that hit the mayor.
Okay, this just took a dark turn.
That is interesting. It come from the same location they left from before he got run over.
There's Garrett, his outcast-hating father, Ansel, and you must be Laurel.
She's looking for something that's not Dusty. Like, yeah, like that thing there, that post. Blood or rain. Freshly smoked candles.
We're still warm. All right, Tyler, you check the rest of the ground floor. Enid and I will search upstairs. You go left, I go right.
Literally how every best friend dies in a horror movie.
The faster we search, the sooner you can leave.
Wednesday, you need to see this. The bed's made. No dust or cobwebs.
That was her therapist who took them flowers.
She died 25 years ago, drowned overseas.
Who knows that's a true story?
This is officially the worst girls' night out ever.
The dumbwaiter, go!
Oh my god.
We've never seen Tyler and that monster separate. Now here's bits of the body parts. Where's Tyler? Why is no one asking that question?
Have to go back for Tyler.
There we go, Wednesday.
Back there.
Where'd you come from?
What's going on here, mate? Why did he just turn up unexpectedly? Go and see Thing, though, in the room. So I don't know, man. I feel like they're trying to drop him. Do you know what I mean? How many times has he been dropped in as a suspect? And, like, sometimes things are too obvious, and then it turns out to be true, and you're like, why didn't I just go with the obvious shit that was being put in front of me? You know what I mean? The fact that he's drawing all of these suspicious drawings, the fact that he knows all the locations in his visions, the fact that, do you know what I mean, he's got cuts on his neck sometimes. He turned up when she was visiting that first place. Do you remember where that homeless guy was and he ran off and she's following the footprints and he was there? He's giving her information about seeing visions. Do you know what I mean? And now he's turned up here. It's like, it's too coincidental. But I'm not picking him. And that's probably where I'm going to say to myself, what an idiot. But I'm going with the therapist now. And the only reason why is because did they say it was Laura Gates? I was kind of suspecting a female that was still part of his family was still alive. I was pushing for the teacher, to be fair. But now, seeing the flowers that was dropped off at Eugene's hospital and the ones that was in that bedroom, I don't know, man. I'm going with her, the therapist.
I am having a full-blown panic attack right now. I need to get back before Reese realizes we've been gone.
What the hell happened?
Sheriff, I understand you're upset, but I think you need to see something.
Of course, it's been cleared out.
Somebody cleared this place out after we left. Yesterday, I told you all signs pointed to this house, and I was right.
From this point forward, you are forbidden from seeing Tyler, and you are forbidden from pursuing anything to do with this case.
Now it's getting me sussy. Like, I'm trying to think of everybody, but he was there watching the mayor get run over.
I think contrition might be in order right now, Miss Adams, not hubris.
I'll never apologize for trying to uncover a truth.
Is this why he tried to kill you?
That I was destined to destroy the school.
Go to your room.
One more infraction, and you will be expelled.
Enid and Xavier are spared as well.
No more negotiation. Good night.
Where are you going?
Yoko's room.
I already apologized.
Tonight was just the icing on the birthday cake you couldn't even be bothered to cut. I've tried really hard to be your friend. You want to be alone Wednesday? Be alone.
She actually done. You could tell, like, the emotions in her face, right? She does really well. You could tell that she's upset.
Be warned that I was destined to be alone. Maybe it's inevitable, but for the first time in my life, it doesn't feel good. There's also something else, a gnawing feeling that death is close at hand.
Yes, there we go. What's this?
But I won't be intimidated, and I will never give up. The monster. Somehow me. We all seem to be connected like a spider's web.
It's actually been killed. That's really interesting.
I will find you.
You know what? Really decent episode. I enjoyed it. It was good. I liked this one. I did. You know, who are we saying Larissa Gates is? Do you know what I mean? My suspicions have been running wild. And like I said earlier on in the season, I'm throwing accusations left, right and centre me. I probably named every single person in the cast. So when we do get it right, it's no well done. Do you know what I mean? You get a well done when it's your first hunch and it actually becomes true, because then you're like, wow, that was decent. I've named everyone, literally everyone. But now I'm believing it's a therapist now. I don't know, man. Oh, the only reason why is because, one, she's got blonde hair, and Larissa in that picture did have blonde hair. But two, yeah, she dropped off those flowers at Eugene's hospital bed, and I'm sure I seen some in that bedroom. I'm sure of it. Now, that is the only reason why I'm picking that. I've obviously narrowed it down to a female. I think it must have been mentioned a couple of episodes back, and that is why I was like on it, thinking that it was the normie school teacher, because we did see her, you know, go down into that secret library. Like, how did she know how to get down there? Who's she been watching? You know what I mean? You could kind of say, oh, somebody's been watching Wednesday. Look at all of these pictures. It could be her. Do you know what I mean? Like, she could have watched Wednesday and how she got in it, and she copied it herself. But, you know, all season, I've been very interested in terms of Tyler's mum. Do you know what I mean? The sheriff's wife. Who is she? What happened to her? Why does he not want to talk about her? How did she die? Do you know what I mean? Because every time he says that he wants to speak about it, he looks away. Every time he says that he wants to speak to the therapist or something, do you know what I mean? Like, the guy won't go. And they both... Do you know what I mean? Like, if someone's even asking him today, did he even love her? And I actually turned around and said, yeah, I believe he did. Then he turned around and said, more than you'll know. But again, you know, I think it's interesting, because I do. Again, it's just one of them storylines that I've kind of, like, been sailing underneath the radar that I don't know much information about, but I'm like, why is it there? Why do we keep mentioning it? And, like, not to say that I don't like Bianca and the, you know, the Pilgrim guy, well, the mayor's son, but, like, why are they getting a small little storyline? Like, why has he got the Siren Song bracelet on? Like, why are they involved in it? I'm not saying that I don't like it, but there's got to be a reason people have this little storylines dropped in. And I have no idea why. Like, why did her mum come at last episode? Wanted to do all of this stuff. She said she was losing the powers. Who's her husband? Do you know what I mean? Why is this guy now being kind of like chosen? Why is he using the app? Why is he getting closer to Bianca? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, how are they going to play a factor in it? Because you can't say he's just been dropped in. He's been dropped in on a few occasions. Do you know what I mean? The first time in a coffee shop when she beat them up. The second time you see them at Pilgrim World, she beat another friend up. I think the third time he put paint into the sprinkler system and went over everybody. Do you know what I mean? This time, the fourth, he's here, doing his community service at the school, getting closer to Bianca. Why? Do you know what I mean? Like, he's got to play more of the story. Can't figure out what it is, but one thing that I have done and decided right now in episode 6, well, last episode in 5, is that the one running the school, the one that's just give her a second chance, the shapeshifter, the one that I thought was sketchy and a bit sus, I feel like she's got good intentions. I do feel like she cares about the school, and even though she's doing some daft things in certain situations and it might not be the right thing to do, I feel like she has the true interest at heart of protecting everybody, and I've ruled her out of being the baddie. I've ruled her out. But the others, I've got no idea, mate. Who blew the cave up as well? Do you know, now I'm on it? Who went into the cave? I'm kind of suspecting the sheriff as well. That's what I mean. Mate, he's sketchy as well. He's reluctant to talk about stuff. He don't want to search into things. When he gets information, shit happens. You know what I mean? Like the sheriff, the guy there. Oh yeah, I've got information to tell. He gets run over. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't want to speak about his wife. Is she the gates? Do you know what I mean? And then again, when she went over, giving him information about the cave, why was it getting blown up the same episode? He's sketchy as well, man. So everybody's still a suspect to me so far. Okay, and that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So, interesting stuff is actually going on. I'm actually liking it. I thought this was a really good episode. It kept me intrigued all the way. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can see Wednesday there at the end. She's been left on her own. At the start of the season, you would have thought that is what she hoped and dreamed of. A room to herself, no friends, left to do it, you know, like writing and plotting and, you know what I mean, like crazy stuff on her own. But no, you've seen it there. A little bit of connection. She actually does care about people. I think she's conflicted me between which boy that she actually likes. I don't know if she likes Xavier more or if she likes Tyler more. I feel like she likes them both, and because they're both showing interest, she's like confused and she don't really know what to do, and she feels tight on each one. Do you know what I mean? But you could tell that both of them are kind of like awkward as well in situations, because like when one sees one with the other, you can see that one's gutted, you know what I mean, and vice versa. When she's with Tyler, you can see Xavier's wounded. When she's with Xavier, you can see that Tyler's wounded. But also as well, like, I don't know, like, do you know when we was talking earlier on in the season, and we was told that Tyler, you know, he's not really the best of guys that he portrays himself to be. You know, he's got a darker side as well. I mean, if it was a darker side that he bullied Xavier a little bit, that's been, you know, shown. But we did see a clip with him underneath the water screaming, and I thought that was interesting. And then obviously all this stuff that's going on with Xavier, do you know what I mean? Like, he's turning up in situations. Like I said, he's turned up in many such situations. You know, she's seen him drawing all of these images of the monster. He's got locations as well. He's painted the fence for this house that they've just been to. He's also painted the cave that was the lair of the monster. He's having these dreams, these nightmares. You know, he's been scratched by it before. He said he couldn't control it when it was coming out of the drawing. She's, you know, she's been at a location where she's chased it, and it's going from obviously the monster's footprints into humans, and then he miraculously turns up. You know what I mean? Today as well, here everybody's being attacked, and then boom, he's there. Now, I don't know if that's because they're trying to make us believe it's him. And like I said, sometimes obviously staring right in front of you, and like it's you being stupid, not believing it. But I'm not thinking it's him. I just feel like you're trying to make us think it's him as the easy option. But again, I'm excited to see, because she's not lying, is she? She went to that house. There was a bedroom full of stuff. There was, you know, freshly lit candles, so to speak, because you could see the flames coming off it. She felt it. She said they were still warm. We went into the basement. There was loads of stuff there. It was the dead body parts. The car was in the drive. Now, I mean, going back there the same night, you would not be able to clear it that fast. But let's just pretend he did, because the show's saying he did. You can understand where the sheriff wouldn't believe it as well. You know, you got to flip it sometimes. Like, if someone, it's like the boy who cried wolf. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you ever heard the story, but it's like, cried wolf, all the town comes out to save him. No wolves are there. Cried wolf again, they all come out to save him, no wolves are there. The third time when he cries wolf and the wolves are actually there, no one comes to save him. And it's like this. She's crying all the time. Here, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this. He goes, nothing, nothing, nothing. At what point are you going to be like, I'm sick of it now? Do you know what I mean? He's at that point. But then again, I'm kind of suspecting him as well, because every time shit is said to him, stuff happens. The cave. Do you know what I mean? The murder investigation. The guy getting ran over today. The house. Every time this guy acquires the info, something strange happens. So now I'm trying to suspect him. Do you know what I mean? I am doing. And I actually am really excited to see who it is, that, because I have no idea. But I'm kind of settling on the therapist being the family. Do you know what I mean? Like the descendant, the sister. And I mean, I'm not settling on the monster being the sheriff, but sack it. I'll just say it is. Do you know what I mean? So that's where we currently are. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.